Hi, I'm back with another obsession. This one began as my obsessions often do at the movie theater. More specifically, my friend Seth is headed to the Army. As a complimentary future soldier event, he got to see a movie. Free tickets, free popcorn, free drinks, free everything. He was also allowed to bring one friend. He brought me. I know, how sweet of him, right? Truth is, if he didn't pick me, things would have gotten ugly. But, luckily, he did. And we got to see Captain Marvel on opening weekend for free. Before I continue, I have a confession to make. The last MCU movie I actually saw was Doctor Strange, and that was after not watching any since Civil War. Yes, I can hear your disapproval from here, but I will reward $500 to the person who knew who Skrulls were before seeing them in the MCU. Then we can talk about authenticity. Anyway, back to the story. Yes, I enjoyed Captain Marvel. I didn't expect to. I thought it'd be a cookie-cutter Marvel movie with jokes and explosions and fake fans all over the theater and social media. And for a little bit, I actually didn't like it. It wasn't until Lashana Lynch's monologue recounting the memory of her best friend that finally made my ears perk up. And from then on, I couldn't tell you what it was, but my mood skyrocketed. Overall, the movie was just fun. It was easy to watch and reminded me of the summertime when you go see a blockbuster action movie with your friends for no reason. What was the movie's crowning jewel, you may ask? None other than Captain Marvel herself, Brie Larson. Brie Larson has something I've been trying to crack the code of for years, being natural on screen. Her jokes in the movie are so matter-of-fact and easy that you sort of feel caught off guard by them in the way that you would in real life. The way she interacts with others feels almost like a secret between the two, as if the camera's not even there. I decided to fall deeper down the Brie Larson rabbit hole and found many intriguing things. She didn't go to college. She started working at a very young age. She got big through a blockbuster hit and winning a Best Actress Oscar, no biggie. And she got a platinum blonde bob haircut for her Captain Marvel press tour. Sounds a lot like someone else we know. Jennifer Lawrence. What I'm getting at here is that there's a lot more to Brie Larson than meets the eye. Her Academy Award for Room was the first time I'd ever heard her name, but I admittedly didn't even watch the movie until yesterday, and I was blown away. Once again, I found the same thing in Room that I loved about Captain Marvel, her natural behavior on camera. I had to get to the bottom of this, so I ran over to the old handy-dandy YouTube and watched a bunch of interviews to learn more about her history. In a short interview with Studio Q, Brie discussed the grueling amount of research and training that went into her Academy Award-winning performance in Room. Her character in Room was trapped in a garden shed for 7 years, held captive by her kidnapper with her 5-year-old son. Obviously, Brie Larson has not been kidnapped and trapped in a box for 7 years, so how did she manage to develop such genuine mental strife? She introduced the idea of honesty versus truth. Whatever is honest to me is not necessarily honest to anybody else, so anything that I represent in any of these films is a personal honesty in a very specific period of time, but it only represents one kind of it. There's so many different ways to be honest. Truth gets into these harsh lines. What she's saying here is that although she's never experienced what her character in Room did, she was honest about the way she personally felt. She believed every word being said to her and every word she was saying herself. She was being honest. Now, whether or not it was the truth, whether or not this is actually how a woman in this nightmare would act is up in the air, because everyone has a different form of honesty. Truth is definite. Honesty is personal. Brie Larson strives for honesty in her work. In the same interview, she reminisced about growing up homeschooled and watching leading ladies on screen depicting unrealistic shoes to fill. She seems to have dedicated her career to showing young girls like her that life isn't a big secret that everyone just seems to have figured out. She wants to show that it's okay to be flawed, complex, even unlikable at points. In her own words, she says, "That's what I want to do. That's what I'm interested in bringing back to American cinema, showing the beauty of the flaw and dispelling the myth of what a woman is, because I think it's more complicated than what I've seen before." Interestingly enough, that's the entire premise of Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers is training from the very start of the movie, always being told she's too emotional, that emotions like anger, love, and sadness are all chinks in a warrior's armor. Against Brie Larson's career-long mantra of honesty versus truth, Captain Marvel becomes the fitting backdrop for her zip to stardom, as Captain Marvel has to find out for herself what she believes and who she trusts. So now when I go see a movie starring Brie Larson, and I look at her eyes and try to figure out how she's become so relaxed and natural in her scenes, I'll remember. That's her honesty, her truth. Time for us to find our own and embrace it. See ya.